everybody, and welcome back to the stream. I'm LB Hackemup, and we're back with Dungeons & Dragons on our Sunday night. Woo! We're doing Playthings of the Gods. We're in episode 7 tonight, and I just want to remind you guys that it is September 18th, and you guys are loved. We love all of you. We appreciate you guys. I love all of you on the stream with me today. Avi. And we're going to get back into things, but before we do, let's go around and have everybody introduce yourselves and who you're playing tonight. Starting with Savannah.
Hello, I go first here, and I definitely remember that every time. I'm Savvy. You can find me on the internet at Savvy Seaworth, mostly on Twitter, where you can find my streaming schedule pinned to the top of my page. When I am not here every Sunday night, I am on twitch.tv/game nights. This game with 2 G's and nights with a K. Either playing in or running TTRPGs and occasionally streaming some video games. You can join a lot of us over there at one point or another during the week. Tonight I am playing Alhena, who is a centaur, a Circle of the Stars druid.
Hello, everybody. I'm Vile. You can find me at the Crown's Crown on Twitter and Twitch. I am also on GGK most of the time. That's also where you can find me most days of the week. And tonight I will be playing Arrow, who sometimes punches things.
Hi, I'm Tanya. You can find me at Tanya Rowland. Search my name wherever, and it'll probably come up because it's spelled weird. But tonight I am Moxie, Tiefling Bard, College of Glamour.
Hi, I'm Rachel Elizabeth. You can find me here on Twitch at Rachel Elizabeth, or here on Sundays on GGK on Mondays and on Nerd Immersion's YouTube channel, playing D&D 3 times a week now, Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays with my wonderful friends. Tonight I am playing Talon, the Beastmaster Ranger, and her trusty sidekick Brute, who is back there in his little nest.
And hello, I'm Alex, OMG, it's some guy on the internets, mostly over on GGK. Next time you'll see me live is when we come back on Tuesday for our Masks game Squire Squad. Been on a bit of a hiatus, but we should be back in action this week. And in tonight's game, I am playing Colchis, who is a Minotaur Paladin, Oath of the Ancients.
And I'm LB Hackemup. I'm going to be your dungeon mistress for this evening. We're going to hop back into things, but before we do, we have a recap given to us, as always, by the lovely Rachel. Take it away, Rachel.
Hey, that's me. Sorry, I'm fighting a cold here, so bear with me if I start coughing in the middle of this. I will try to mute. Previously on Playthings of the Gods. Before the hunt and after a conversation about shame-flavored meat, Alhena filled her friends in on her ritual walk and the voice that had told her they can't allow you to release them. They decided to put it aside for now, focus on the hunt, and hope the elders had some insight for when they returned. After a quick briefing from the leader of the hunting party, Tefan and his majestic chest hair, they got on their way. Alhena invited Moxie to ride her, and Moxie could not have been more excited. Alhena navigated their way across the wastelands, and Talon acted as a lookout, and they eventually found their prey, a group of Crassus. They picked out 2, made their plan, and executed, literally. Alhena, Talon, and Moxie threw ranged attacks, while Colchis and Arrow snuck their way over to the Crassus for close-in combat. Everyone did their thing, except Talon, who missed half her shots, partially distracted by Tifan's not magical, that'd be cool, majestic chest hair, and triumphed over their prey. After finishing off the Crassus, Alhena helped Talon through the crisis she was having over missing so many times and decided that maybe a bit of practice on each new plane wouldn't be the worst idea. To get her mind off of it, Alhena taught Talon how to break down the carcasses of the Crassus. Knives make everything better. They returned to the village triumphant and were summoned by the elders. They told the group that only one being had the amount of control of magic that was demonstrated in Alhena's ritual, Mistra, the Lady of Magic, known for being very big on keeping balance. The group would need to be on the lookout for her or her followers as they continued their journey. Talon volunteered the idea that she or one of the other members could perform the ritual again, hoping for more answers, but it was shot down. The ritual is sacred to the tribe, and the elders wouldn't perform it with an outsider with no training. Alhena, venting her frustration, had some choice words for them about it and left her friends all not far behind. And when we last left our adventurers, they'd finished their meeting with the elders, done a lot of deliberation, and tried to make Alhena feel better about their next steps and all the missing pieces to the puzzle they were supposed to be solving. It kind of worked, and then Talon initiated their very first group hug, so everyone was feeling very warm and fuzzy. I'm sure nothing is going to come along and ruin that, and this is probably where LB's going to yell roll for initiative.
Oh, shit, I didn't have a combat plan, but now I want one. You got
Kobold Fight Club.
Yeah, right? There's plenty of characters, and let's see what the first one oh, the shadow horror. Okay, no, oh, no. Nope.
The instant regret.
I mean, you guys can kill it. I don't want to describe that.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, we are getting back into it. You guys are heading out from the tribe, yes? Okay. You guys start to make your way back through the wastelands to the broken city. Alhana, you know the way back to the central point of Ravnica. You can find your way back to the ships well enough, especially with your knowledge of this plane in general. Is there anything you guys want to do along the way, or you'll probably have I mean, it'll probably take you most of the day to get there, so I'm okay with just skipping to that, unless you guys want to do something on the way.
I do just want to say real quick before we left, we don't have to play it out, but Alhana would have said goodbye to her family and
Okay.
left it on good terms and stuff, so they're not
Okay.
concerned about her
Yes.
and her outburst.
I think that something that you get from this goodbye is that they are concerned, but not about your they're not worried about you doing this quest. They're worried about the quest in general. Yeah, they're just worried that and I guess your grandmother would express that she trusts you, she trusts that you will do this right. She understands, she trusts your abilities, and she knows you, so she will absolutely she wants to make it clear that it was never I don't trust your mind, I don't trust that you don't believe in your friends, I trust you, and that's why no one's you probably shouldn't do this quest. So yeah, there's everyone is happy, everything's good as you guys leave. You guys take off, walking through the wastelands, going to the ruined city, and as you guys make your way back into Ravnica is a giant city, so when I say the city proper, it is just tall buildings. You guys, there's a lot of steam, there's a lot of foot traffic once you make it back into the more populated areas. You pass by, you guys have been in Waterdeep, you've been in other big cities on the material plane, and you kind of got a taste when you landed, but this is a massive city. It's like walking through New York. Buildings are impossibly high. There's all sorts of apparatuses. There's electric lights, which are super rare on the material plane. Here they're just kind of everywhere. There's shops that have specialty things that you've never heard of, that seem interesting, but maybe a little dangerous. And especially as you get towards the Izzet area, it seems that the whereas an electric light bulb is very contained, it's useful because it is enclosed item. As you get towards the Izzet Guild, there are more things that are arcing, Tesla coils, and sort of more things that seem a little unhinged, but more chaotic but contained. Whereas there is a glass orb with electricity flowing through it. There is fire sort of moving along the railings as opposed to being on a torch. It's kind of just on the railing. No one seems to be concerned about anything here. You do see a lot of interesting folks. You guys have probably never seen people with crab arms, or they have fish tails, and no one else is sort of bashing an eye here. But the upside is nobody is looking at you guys and thinking that you look weird or that you're out of place. You're probably if they would, it's because you look too normal. You look like you're from the material plane, and that's interesting, but everyone here is dressed strangely. There's Victorian style garments. There's people who are wearing metal all over their bodies, but it's not armor. It's more like a fashion statement or some sort of apparatus that is moving around them. There's small creatures, there's metallic creatures. It's a very interesting area as you guys make your way throughout the day through this city. You guys can catch a tram situation where there's sort of like a train that is on a hovering surface. You can kind of cut through a little bit more and you get more of an overview of the city, the massive streets, the amount of people, the bustle and hustle and bustle of this giant city. It's like, it's exactly like Zootopia when she's riding through all the different spaces. So yeah, but you guys can make it to the Is It Guild headquarters. And as you exit the tram and start walking that way, the Crystile walkway is lined with waist-high fences and blue glowing lamps. Looming above are towers filled with the same blue light and arcing together with bolts of blue electricity. The golden symbol of a dragon sits atop an archway leading into a massive building. As you enter the arched building, red and blue lights swirl through the piping that line the walls. These pipes lead off down many hallways that spread from this main area. Many different types of humanoids and creatures walk through the entryway, most talking, some reading, and many others tinkering. One blue-skinned individual you see is covered in soot and seems to have recently been burned. They are very upset as they walk through this entryway with a purpose. Did you guys inform Jenna that you were on your way, or does anyone have a messaging or sending spell?
No, but Talon replied to her saying that they would be there for the meeting. So I'm sure we're just going to like time it properly.
Cool. You guys can make your way up to the front desk for instructions. There is a person sitting at the desk that is very large humanoid, but they are they have like a hippo head and body. Very small glasses on the end of their nose that kind of like, obviously they have a very large muzzle, and they kind of sit to the side so that they can see down. And you guys can approach, and she says, "How can I help you?"
Why are we here again? I forgot.
We are here to meet our captain, Jenna.
Is Jenna a member?
She is here for a meeting with. I obviously remember his name because we just talked about it yesterday.
Zarek.
Ral Zarek.
Mm-hmm. You have a meeting with Raul?
Yes.
Names, please.
Just list them all very quickly.
Oh, it looks like you do. Well, if you're looking for his office, you're going to go down this hallway. You're going to go to the left, the first entrance, and then you're going to go down about, I would say 200 yards. Do not make a right on that hallway. They're doing some experiments in there. You might enter into a demi-plane of existence. But if you keep going down, he's kind of at the end of that hallway. There's a big archway. He's got his name up everywhere. You'll see it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, kids. She goes back to typing on a machine.
Thank you, Elhana. I could not remember anyone's name that we talked about. You're the best.
It's okay. I'm used to hearing them, so
That's good. That's good.
So we're supposed to make a right? That's all I got.
no. This way.
Just stick with the group arrow. Don't wander off.
You guys-
Talon will bring up the rear just to make sure.
You guys make your way through these hallways. The ceiling is probably about like 18 feet up. It's arched. Like I said, there's a lot of tubing on the sides that have this red and blue light moving through it. For those of you who know anything about Magic the Gathering, the Is It Guild is a red and blue deck. So you use mountains and water, islands for land for those.
Damn, she read the book.
Well, I played Magic. And then I read the book. All right, you guys make your way. You see at the end of this hallway, after you make your turns and avoid the death room, if you want, there's a large archway that the lettering is cut out that gives the name of Ral Zarek. And it's kind of a big open space in there. There's like kind of a gate out front, but it is cracked open. And you see inside, there are a lot of weird apparatuses in here. There's a lot of glass containing different sorts of electricity, weird colored magics, interesting mechanical things. Some are whirring, some are sitting in silence. But leaning against one of the desks, with her arms crossed, is Jenna, as she's kind of like zoning out, staring at the ground. She like looks up when you guys, oh, you made it, wonderful.
We told you we'd be here when you told us to.
Wonderful. How was your visit with your family?
I liked
Good.
it.
Good.
Good. I always loved the wastelands. It's an interesting place to go for sure. They're not the prettiest, but very interesting.
Well, I think that depends on your perspective.
That's very true. Are you guys ready to meet Ral, or did you need anything before we do?
Is there anything we should know about before we meet?
No, I think it's better if you go in blind. All right.
Okay.
You see her make a symbol in the air as she casts a spell. Kind of puts her hand to her ear and goes, "Ral, we are ready for you." And she like
Sarah
stands.
closes their eyes.
She like she like stands up and kind of moves away from the center of the room. And you guys start to see electricity crackling, sort of making a singular point in the center of this room. And with a flash of light, there is a blinding light that cuts through this area. And before you, you see a man, after your eyes sort of adjust to the light. He looks humanoid. He is probably about 6'2". He has like dark hair that's slicked back and is streaked with like white streaks. I don't think that he is wearing a blue and red outfit with like a sort of a light shining through the center. He has a apparatus on his back and on his side that are both glowing blue with electricity, and he sort of enters with a flourish, and he goes, "Ha-ha! Hello." Thank you.
That
Please.
was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. I am Ral Zarek. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Hi.
Over here. Oh, bless their heart.
You can look.
Can I? No, that's not my voice. Can I? I was told that we needed to like close our eyes.
It's a metaphor.
Oh, gotcha.
I'll explain later.
Ha! I like the cut of your jib. I hear that you are on a magical mystery tour of sorts, and you're looking for a wonderful piece of technology that I have created for you.
Sure,
Yes, that is about the sum of things, yes.
Well, fear not. I have created the apparatus in which you need to travel across the plains to a blinded spot where your friend is. Though I do have to say, I'm not quite certain exactly where it'll sit you. It'll put you in the right direction, though, if it doesn't pop you in the correct plane right away. There's just too many variables.
Of course, but this is certainly going to be a great help, given that otherwise we would have had to fly rather aimlessly.
You are very welcome.
Kind of stage whispering to Jenna, should we be more deferential? Like, are we not doing enough?
He does like praise.
Okay.
Have you all enjoyed your time in Ravnica?
Yes, it's nice to be back.
Of course, you are of the Centaur tribe. And has anybody had any questions, or do you want a tour of the facility? I can't guarantee that we will meet the dragon, but maybe.
I mean, if you would like to give us a tour, I think that would be interesting.
You look over and Jenna's like,
but I don't think we have the time for it, actually.
ah, a shame. I have so many items that I'd love to show you. Most
Or
of them in
sell
working
us.
condition. Ah, they are not for sale, however. Well, how much gold do you have? Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
a very personal question.
We deal in electrum here, so for the most part, although I do accept gold, mostly items of strange or far off places. But usually my pieces go for at least 20 to 70,000 gold.
I have 24 gold. What can I
Good
get
for
that?
you. One day, maybe you'll have 28.
That's the hope, yeah.
Does anybody want me to explain what I made for you?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering, like how you made this and know where we need to go.
Of course, and there's just another bright lightning hit next to him, and there's a model of the ship sort of on this little pedestal, and you see him sort of motion with his hand, and half of the ship disintegrates like in a smoke, and so you have a bifurcation of the ship. And he says, so you know that the apparatus that flies your ship and allows it to transport between planes is in the front of the ship. The bow, if you will. Well, this little, and he kind of like pulls out the little apparatus that was in the model. This, and you see it pop out, like it expands to be like 300% what it was. This is of my making, of course. I met the Pondons long ago. It's not important. But what this does, creates the spell within this space. And when it pushes through, I know I'm being loud. I'm so sorry. Abaddon's like, can you not? When it pushes the spell forward, it allows just the ship and those inhabiting it to then transfer into a different plane. Now, this is a very technical piece, and of course, you have to have a specific knowledge and ability to fly it. Hence why the owl on your ship, the owlin on your ship, can fly it. He has had a lot of training. Now, what I've built is, and he kind of like pulls out of the air another smoke apparatus appears, and he kind of places it on the front of it. He says, this is more like a tuning fork, if you will. You have an item that is close to and belongs to your friend. Because he hasn't had it for so long, I'm not quite sure exactly how accurately it will transport you via the spell, but you can then use it, and this is the best part, as sort of a compass of sorts to navigate your way to where he is. So even if you don't end up exactly on the right plane, you can still transport yourself and go along the correct path to get to him. And he kind of like does a little bow, and everything, all the pieces disintegrate.
That's pretty incredible.
Thank you. It was a challenge, but I was willing to take on, especially for Jacob.
So you think we'll actually be able to find Jacob?
Of
That's
course.
crazy.
Especially with a capable bunch like you.
Quite the salesman.
Well, you have to be in my line of work. Although nowadays I'm more of a commissioned artist, if you will. People come to me with their problems, and I am very capable in solving them. most of the time I find myself on different planes. You know, being a planeswalker, it is nice to just transport yourself elsewhere.
Well, you definitely solved our problem for us.
Of course. And if you travel to a strange plane or find something of interest and you wish to send it back to me, I will always accept donations.
We will definitely keep that in mind.
Thank you, Talon. I appreciate that.
Is there a way for us to easily send you things back, or would we have to bring the ship back to Ravnica to drop them off for you?
Well, that depends. You might be able to contact me. It depends on which plane I'm on. Then I could come to you. But it's better to just drop it off at my office. So,
No.
is there anything else I can do for you today? Now that I've solved all your problems.
Given that Jenna was shaking her head at the tour before, kind of looking towards her for guidance of like, do we need to get going or?
Jenna like is just kind of standing there, like kind of smiling to herself and like shaking her head, having worked with him before. Finds him amusing.
Is there a way that we could sort of do a test drive now of, we give you Jacob's item and you tell us where you think the device will take us, because that could help us with preparations for going to that plane. If it's going to be the plane of fire and we need to stock up on potions or something.
Absolutely, if the apparatus was here. It is currently being placed on your ship. But your ship does have many protections in place if you do end up on the plane of fire, which if Jacob is on the plane of fire, then you're not going to want to be there. He's probably dead anyways.
Sounds like we need to go back to old Barty and have him take a look and see where this points us.
Ha! Barty, I like that.
Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Anything for the Pondons.
It is an honor to meet you. Finally.
The honor is all mine. Ta-ta! And he like snaps his fingers and another lightning bolt shoots in and he is gone. Jenna's just kind of like...
He is very loud.
Yes, he is.
Should I have... You said he liked praise. Should one of us have told him he's a good boy?
I would have loved to see
Oh,
that.
how I wish you had done that, Talon.
Get him back in here.
I would rather not.
I feel cheated.
I've been listening to him speak for the last 2 days. So, shall we?
Let's get after it.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Because we could leave Ravnica today.
Well, we need to find out where this is pointing us so we can know if we need to stock up or not.
All right. We'll have to go back into the astral sea. I don't want to tear this plane apart.
Did anybody else need to stop for anything?
I was going to do a bit of grocery shopping, but I can just do that on the way.
All right.
Jenna, do they have a circus here in Ravnica?
They have performers, yes.
I'll keep that in mind for the future. Thanks.
Thank you, Tanya. I can pull a haunted house out of my ass. Probably not a whole Ravnican circus.
I don't want to go to a circus, but Moxie's got her business
Wheels.
brain on.
Wheels
through.
turning.
That's true. Yeah.
If we're gonna do like grocery shopping on the way back, I want to take a peek in a semi-eclectic store, something that like
Sure.
we've never like really seen before, and fun trinkets or something.
Cool, yeah. Is there anything specifically you're looking for?
Maybe something that's got like I don't know. like a obviously like Talon would want to go look like at like books or whatever, but probably not like just a bookstore. Like I'm imagining like a little like eclectic shop that's run by like some sweet old woman who didn't know what kind of shop she wanted to open, you know, like one of those where it's just like there's books, but there's also plants, but there's also random trinkets and like antique furniture and like
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so you guys make your way out, making your way downtown, out of this building. Again, just tons of people walking around. I think that Jenna will point you to sort of a. She'll walk you out of the Is It League, because you everything there is going to be very much a like a not trinkets. It's going to be like expensive items. Let's see, where's the best spot for you guys? Don't want to go to the Simic. I think the House of Demir is where we want to go. You guys make your way to a sort of more nope. It's a more colorful and there's a lot more plant-based. There's more plants here in general. There are trees growing out of the ground. There are plants everywhere. This is where the store. Come on. The store called Click to Join is located. It's a very, there's a lot of herbal, oh, there they are. There they are. You would know these, the Celestia Conclave. The Celestia Conclave. This is where most of the, like, naturalists live, Elhina. And there are lots of Loxodon here, elves, there are some centaurs as well. But there's definitely a spot where you can get different herbs. They're all grown on plain. For the most part, they are very there's probably a shop that you can get like off-world things, but this space is more of a we grew it here. And yeah, but you can find that, and then you can find another spot called the Little Bird, and that is more of a like handmade items and oddities sort of space. There are some skulls and gems, stones. There's furniture, shelving, sort of anything that you would find in like a normal oddities slash antique store. So if there's something that you're looking for in particular, otherwise I can tell you a few things that I...
No, she's not looking for anything in particular. She's just like kind of is looking for like maybe like some kind of little like I got this in Ravnica, which is where my friend is from. So like it would be like something that like maybe kind of reminds her like of Alhena.
Is there a shirt that's like all I went to Ravnica and all I got was this lousy t-shirt?
Yeah, there is. Click to join. I just want to write this down before I forget.
Did you Kaiser Soze that off of like the Zoom invite or something?
No. I I looked up like 60 fantasy names and cool ideas for general store, and they're all terrible. And that was one of them. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, great.
Sorry to whoever put that list together.
I'm not. Make better names.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's definitely, you could get, let's see, you could probably find something that is, there's a little gem, sort of a glass orb that has a, like a small tree, like a bonsai, sort of encased in it, and as you shake it, the leaves sort of change color from green, so they go through like the seasons. It goes from green to red to orange to brown, and then it falls off, and there's like a little bit of like a snow flourish, and then it goes back to green.
How much is that? That's really cool.
Well, this is probably like. Actually, I just looked up something. Hold on. I'll say they'll charge you like 25 gold for it. Because apparently a cup of coffee here is 10 CP. Which is pretty expensive. I mean, not, relatively.
Talon wants it. It's very cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's how much glasses are there, so I would think. All right.
Just gonna buy the fun little trinket from Ravnica.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, she's collecting kind of things now.
It does have an inscription on the bottom that is the symbol of the guild, the conclave. It's just sort of like a tree, straight branch tree that with straight branch roots at the bottom, and it's sort of a hourglass shape. And Arrow, how much do you want to spend on herbs? Typical farmer's market sort of stuff. So like if you want a bushel of thyme, it's going to be like $1 sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, anything I we don't have to get like super nitty gritty about it, but anything that was that Arrow might have been lacking on the ship when they were trying to cook.
Oh, perfect.
So they don't have to like use their spice bag.
Yeah. Also, you can, as you're here, there are quite a few bags of spices, and you can talk to the shopkeeper and sort of get an idea of what they are, and they'll give you like little tastes of them, so you can use them for your.
So I can summon them later.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Gaming the system.
Hell
I'll do that. I'll get some samples.
All right. There's a lot of I would say there are a lot of earthy flavors here, like onion powder, garlic powder, sort of that sort of. There's a couple probably spicier things, but more like how cayenne pepper is spicy, not like.
If there was anything specifically that Arrow noticed they were using within Alhaina's tribe, that might like remind her of home or something, Arrow will try that out too.
Yeah, we'll do. I'm just gonna say, because to name something, there's probably a lot of like curry spice sort of things in Alhaina's tribe, so we'll go with that for.
Okay.
I don't know enough about food.
Am I remember right? They had like really spicy food or something, and they were like,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like Korean curry.
Sure.
Peppers are easy to grow.
Mm-hmm.
They have like the Thai hot or just the regular hot.
Mm-hmm.
You can get mild, medium hot, or centaur hot.
Or centaur hot.
Exactly. All right.
Perfect.
You have gathered your things. Is there anything else anybody wants?
I have one question. Are there like different kinds of trees here than there are back on our?
Definitely.
So as we're walking back, Moxie just wants to kind of keep an eye out for like a chunk of a branch of a tree that we don't have on our plane.
Okay.
That has maybe a unique color to bring back.
Okay. Like you want to like. Aw. Fucking cute. Yeah, you're
like
able
how
to.
A plum tree looks orange. It's something like that.
Yeah. It's a lot of green here, but there are some really unique leaves. There's some that are spirally. A lot of them are like spiky. The trees that are growing here are very hardy because there's a lot of infrastructure around them, so they have to be really tough to make it through. And you are able to find. I'm gonna say you find a branch that has fallen off, probably got knocked over by a loxodon or something that was like really tall and knocked it over. It's got a couple it's a thick midsection branches, but the leaves are sort of a spiral and they kind of clump together, and so they look like curls almost.
Yeah, Moxie wants that, and with living leaves. Sorry, you can probably hear Ted's snoring.
We
some
can't,
living
but I
leaves.
want to.
Okay, good. That like she can maybe propagate or something. She doesn't know anything, but she'll try.
Yeah, you can get some. I mean, do you
Moxie
want
or Ravnican succulent?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy like a sapling?
Yes.
Would that be okay?
Yes, I want to keep that weird branch, but I also want to buy
Okay.
like a little sap,
Yeah.
something I can fit in my bag.
Yeah, you go up to one of the merchants and go, I want this. And you hold up the branch to them, and they're, okay. And you get this, like, little sapling is, like, you know, Groot tall in a container. They'll explain to you how to care for it. It doesn't need a ton of light, but it does need water. You know, whether it's, they suggest purified water, but it is very hardy, so probably regular water's fine. They're just a little hoity-toity here.
Sounds good to me. Sold.
Hell yeah. All right. Guys, make your way back to the ship unless there's something else. Good. Okay. The ship is hustling and bustling. There's a lot of things that are being loaded on. I think that as you approach... Hold on. Let me just pull up my pondons. As you're approaching, you see Quadison is directing people. They are currently in their autumn form. They are, you see their outfit is very orange and browns. Their hair is instead of like coiffed over, it is like slicked back and sort of is a little bit longer and like curls up around their shoulders. And their skin has turned from that pale in their winter form to a like almost a tan, a humanoid tan, almost the color of Calcus. But they're directing, and Argils is sort of lifting heavy things, and you see Argils sort of.
Is he now?
Oh
Sorry.
yeah. His, you know, you see the metal is sort of as he picks things up, it like adjusts so that like it has a little bit of steam come off of it, so that he's shows his exertion. His calves, his pants are rolled up a little bit, so his calves are out, and they are nice and strong. His black hair is tied back, and he sort of motions to you, Calcus. And you see him like he's kind of holding this big box and like motions for you to maybe help pick up some of the other boxes.
Yep, we'll get on that.
Mm-hmm. Jenna hops up on the ship and goes talk to Quadison. Everyone else, Promise and Raimi, are on the ship, are kind of helping repair the ship as well. What would you guys like to do, if anything, before takeoff? Good.
Just getting some dinner ready or whatever time of day it is.
Okay. It's all relative. Because you guys are going to be going back into the... I guess my
the
question
next
is...
in the order of whatever meal we ate last.
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys want to... I guess the question is, do you want to spend the night on the ship here, or do you want to, like, get going? It's kind of... I mean, it's probably, like, 8 o'clock. It's not super late. It's
Can
hard
we
to
go
tell
and
me.
put the necklace on the apparati and have what's his nuts kind of tell us what direction we're going?
You...
Or give us an idea?
That...
Or
Jenna said that not to start it up until you guys get into the astral sea, so...
can we kind of float? We can hang out in the astral sea, can't we?
Yeah. So if you guys want to, like, stay in Ravnica for the night, or if you want to get going, that's up to you.
Yeah. I feel like we should get going. I don't know it'll help us just staying here for any reason.
Yeah, if they're ready to go.
Okay. All right. You guys all get on the ship. Everyone has loaded up. There's a final head count. I think Sue is at some point, like while they're doing the last head count, you see Sue kind of, as people are moving around the ship, Calcus, you see Sue standing, you see sort of just her like head and shoulders sticking up from the where you walk down in the ship in the center, and she's sort of just like looking at you and like watching you as you are lifting things.
Kind of nod to her and just, keep kind of out of the corner of my eye, but make sure that I don't drop whatever it is I'm carrying.
Mm-hmm. You see her eyes sort of like dart to the side. Like she doesn't wave back, but she like doesn't kind of know how to acknowledge that. A little awkward.
Yeah. I mean, I think once everything is underway, we'll check to see if she was still there watching or she has gone to the med bay to prepare as well.
I think as you it's one of those things where as you look over, you see her, and then somebody walks in front of your vision and she's gone, and has presumably returned to the lower decks. Everyone is on the everyone who is on the top of the ship where they're supposed to be. Quadison, Argylls, Promise, and Raimi are up there with Jenna as she sort of launches the ship from the dock. You go up. You can kind of feel the pull of gravity here as the ship starts to go at sort of a 45. You kind of get that sense of leaning back. Excuse me. And they activate the apparatus, the machine that allows you to teleport through on the ship, and the portal opens up in front of you. You see the astral sea as you pass through it, and you make it easily into the astral sea. Jenna hops off of the from where the wheel would be, but there's not really a wheel that steers this ship. She hops down. Do you guys want to go see how everything's going down below?
I would love that.
If Bartholomew isn't going to yell at us for, getting too close to operations.
I would just suggest not touching anything.
Can do.
Right. You guys make your way below ship, where you... I thought I had a thing for the ship, but apparently I don't. You make your way down to the front of the ship, which is the bow, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. I know about ships. You open the door to Bartholomew's area. You see that he is sort of sitting on top of the apparatus in the front, and he's hanging down and sort of tinkering with it. And Jenna says, "How's it coming, Bartholomew?" He says, "Well, it's complicated, but it's going on there, so I guess it'll take me a bit to boot it up, but I guess it's gonna be great. It's gonna, it's a learning experience for everyone. It's gonna be great." Jenna's
Well, you're doing a great job and we all appreciate it.
You see him kind of sit up a little bit, look over, "Thank you." His feathers ruffle a little bit, and they kind of poof up. And he kind of sits back up, flutters over back to his, there's a large pedestal that's, well, large for him. He sits on a pedestal that's sort of in front of this thing. And he just says, "You have the trinket, the item?"
We got it.
Can I
You
have
ready
it, please?
for it?
Yeah,
All right.
I think so. I mean, either that or we're all gonna blow up, so.
I forget who had it last. Mere Talon. Anyways, here you go, Barty. It's all yours.
I thought we gave it to Jenna for
Jenna
the
ha-
meeting.
Jenna
I don't
hands it
remember
over.
anymore. It doesn't matter. So one of us gives it
Bartholomew
to him.
now has the
I could
bracelet.
probably dig through my notes for it, but
That's fine.
that would take the rest of the session to find.
Now Bart has it. He places it over this sort of there's the circular pillar on the or holder on the apparatus, the thing that flies the ship, and you see him sort of start it up. Okay, here it goes. And he sort of claps his wings together and starts to rub them as he starts saying these magic words. The apparatus starts buzzing. The red and blue sort of fire mixed with electricity that is created within this glass orb that flies the ship and allows you to go through portals. You see it sort of funneling through these tubes over to the new part in the front. and you see it start like whirling and such. He's like, well, we didn't blow up, so that's good, but it's gonna take a second for it to really boot up and I guess like get us to where we're going. So
Barty, are you trying to say that we should leave you alone for a little bit, or?
I would love that.
Okay, let's just give Barty some time here. Let him work his magic. He's doing awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you need a snack or anything while you're working, just let me know.
I will do that. Guys, exit and make your way back up to the top of the ship. Okay. You guys feel that the whir of the engine underneath you. You see the sort of, there's a spark at the very tip of the ship that has the pointy bit to it. As this magic begins to fully come to, the light starts to grow more and more bright as it does. And it's gonna take a little bit for this to get going. You kind of sit there and watch it as it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. You see it sort of launch forward after a moment, and it connects with a space that is, you are in space. It connects with what looks to be a wall as this magic starts to expand. And as it does, you start to see shapes sort of on the other side, but it's hard to make out anything. And as this portal slowly grows, you kind of see a different light sort of on the deck in front of you. And it seems to be coming from behind you. And it sort of gives off this like golden glow as you sort of see this, as the light ahead of you is blue and red. The light behind you is very much this bright yellow light.
Are we going directly into the sun, or anybody else recognize this at all?
Elena, is this like what you saw in your vision?
It's pretty similar.
You guys feel not an impact, but sort of a rumbling as Jenna quickly turns around, and as the rest of you presumably do as well. Behind the ship, there is a bright yellow golden light that is sort of doing the similar thing as that's happening in the front. And as this golden, like a sun, sort of begins to form and grow, you see reaching through a hand. And this hand looks like a... Just pull it up before I... It looks like a gauntleted black glove. And as it sort of like tears this golden circle, it expands, and you can see in this opening a golden collar of a grand cloak. There is a face covered by a mask that is sort of looks like it has a skull carved out of a golden out of gold. There are sort of swirls and almost like fire coming off of this top mask, and there is a large circlet above it. And as it begins to tear out, you see, perspective-wise, this thing is fucking huge. As the hands begin to tear this thing open, Jenna looks back at it, looks at you guys, and she starts to shout for everyone to take up arms. And everyone on the ship starts to sort of run around. Well, the four people on the top of the ship start to run around and go to their sort of attacking positions.
Moxie's yells, anybody know what that is?
is there some kind of roll that we could maybe make?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a religion roll for me.
Okay.
Or, well, yeah, religion will be good.
Oh, that's just an 8
19.
for me.
19 for Moxie.
19
Uh,
for me.
16 for me.
Okay. Kalkus, this is very confusing. I think there's a lot going on right now, and you're not quite sure. There's like magic happening in front of you. There's magic happening behind you. And as you look at this thing, which is, let me find the chart. Where's the one that tells me sizes? Give me the size chart, because I think it's technically gargantuan. Yes. So, you guys are medium. There's large, huge, and gargantuan. It starts to move through. The rest of you can kind of piece together the golden light Alhina had seen, the voice. This is probably whatever was in Alhina's vision. And as your ship is, if it is an agent of Mystra, has kind of located you via the use of magic, the grand magic that you are starting and continuing to use. What would you guys like to do? Is the portal ahead of you is opening. It'll take you a little bit to get into it still, and the creature behind you, or this being behind you, is still ripping open the space to get to you.
Do we deal with this fucker, or do we want to launch into the...
I think we launch into the portal. I think best way is forward. That's what Talon's vote is going to be, is
I think we
get
need to
away from that thing
Yeah,
and
we may
then
need to
stop
delay
using
it.
this.
So Moxie just starts yelling, "Go, go, go!" with all of the persuasion in her might possible.
All right. You guys continue to watch this, and as you do, let me just you see Argil's takes up his... I'm just going to pull up their character sheets so I don't get this wrong. He's going to take up his great axe and his javelins, and he starts hucking javelins. And as you see them going through space, they get smaller and smaller and smaller until they make impact with this thing and are like the size of a toothpick, a little bit bigger than a toothpick, maybe a pencil. As they launch into this, Jenna goes to the back of the ship and starts to yell out to everyone else. Quadison is going to start throwing spells at it. Not very effectively, but they sort of pull up a... Of course, I didn't pick any of his spells. They start pulling up a sort of a wall of the prismatic wall. Sorry. Oh no, I'm wrong. They just start throwing spells at this creature, and it seems that any spell that is thrown at it starts to get absorbed into it. And Promise and Raimi are sort of hucking arrows at it as the spell ahead of you is coming to sort of its fruition. The hand they have ripped it far enough, and the hand starts reaching out towards the ship. And it is going to go for the person I think it's going to go for the magic one. So it's going to reach out towards Quadison.
Would it be possible for me to, if we have enough time to see the arm coming, to rush over there, and then I would like to cast protection from evil and good.
Okay.
On them.
What is that going to do?
So does D&D Beyond have a thing where it'll display the description for you, or do I need to read it out?
Just read it to me.
Okay, so One willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
Okay.
Several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. And if they're already one of those, they get advantage on saving throws.
Okay. Is this a touch spell?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that, or if you want to like try pushing him out of the way, or if you want to like I was gonna make him roll a dex save for this.
No, I'll go with casting that spell.
Okay. All right. So does it give him advantage against?
I suppose technically not, unless this is, yeah, because just as creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll make the DC lower for that. He is going to attempt to get out of the way, which he does. You see him sort of like duck under as this hand grips, and as it sort of like grabs at the back of the ship, you see these fingers sort of rip into the back of the wood of the ship and kind of like tear it as Jenna yells down as she's been yelling towards Bartholomew to like go go go. She yells again, and you feel yourselves sort of like jerk forward, and you scrape into this portal, which hasn't quite opened all the way. The top of the mast gets sort of taken down. You see the sails fall, and as you are launched into this new plane, the creature behind you is sort of like dead-eyed, the bright golden lights coming from its eyes, looks into the plane as it sort of, the spell dissipates and closes, the portal closes behind you. And I think that's a good spot to go on break. We're about halfway. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thanks for watching for now. Go grab a food, grab your drink, take your medication if you need it, take a shot if you need it, and we'll be back in 5 to 10. Thanks. Hello everybody and welcome back! You guys have just been thrust into a new plane. As you look around, kind of catch your breath for a second before all of the chaos of everyone starting to talk at the same time. You see around you sort of this, the first thing that hits you is this smell. It is very musty. You see around you a lot of like sort of swampy water. There is a lot of like tall trees. Sort of think of the forest and fucking the one with the kid who bends air, Avatar. That where there's like the large trees and there's like water kind of flowing. The ground doesn't seem very stable. Your ship is sort of like stops moving. The sails fall down. The top of the mast is completely gone, has fallen out behind you, and there is just a moment of silence before the cacophony of crickets and frogs and all sorts of different sort of swamp animals hits you. And Jenna like sort of stops, looks at Quadison, looks at you guys. What the fuck was that?
It's pretty fucked up and scary, if you ask me.
I was hoping you would know.
No, I've never seen anything like that before.
Something does not want us to get to Jacob.
Yeah, our bad.
I think that is quite clear.
Start from the beginning.
Well, we met when we were on the road, but I don't know how long ago y'all met, so you probably have to start there before I started from that point.
I love them so much. I love them so much.
Someone explain what is going on.
I would explain what was going on if I felt like I knew what was going on. All I know is that something does not want us to get to Jacob, and it is probably another god.
Okay. So, how do you know this?
Like these gods gave us a quest to do a bunch of stuff. I
Okay.
kind of forget the details, but that's what we're doing. We have to find Jacob. I know that part.
Did we told Jenna that part?
Yeah,
didn't
we've
Yeah,
told her
yeah,
about
Jenna,
that part.
Jenna knows
Okay.
about your mission.
Oh, yeah,
So-
Moxie's just talking, like trying to remember herself.
I know we just had this conversation a couple of days ago, Jenna. I apologize.
so, so that was a god? We're
Maybe,
thinking?
Mm,
maybe not.
Or something that works for one. Are you familiar with Mistra?
The goddess of the weave?
Yeah, might be one of her minions.
We're working against Mistra to find
Like,
Jacob.
We don't know that
what?
for
We
sure.
don't know that for sure now.
More of a that's the most likely scenario.
and even
Gods.
if there is one god working against us, you've got 5 gods in favor of this.
Tulkas, I love your optimism.
My words exactly.
Okay, I need a report. What's the damage? She kind of looks up around to the crew. Everyone is very shook from this situation. Promise is sort of just like staring at Quadison, and like they're very much like checking on him, on them, and making sure that they're okay. You see that Raimi is at the back of the ship, looking at the damage from the part that has been ripped away. She's kind of looking over the edge, and well, I think that we have enough repairs for this, but it's gonna take a while for us to completely, the mast is completely destroyed. We're going to need more wood for it, and we need to fold the sails.
Well, we're probably going to have to dry it out, but the swamp is a pretty good place to get wood.
So we don't have any idea where we are.
You see everyone kind of like start to look around as like, oh shit, we are somewhere new. And Jenna like shakes her head and sort of like yells down to Bart, and Bart, where are we? Where have we landed? And you hear Bart yell up, well, best I can tell, have you ever heard of the Plate of Ooze?
Sounds awesome.
You see her kind of like Jenna like sits up and looks around. All right, I don't know how much you know about the Wheel of the Worlds, but the Planes of Existence, but if we're on the Plane of Ooze, that is the one that sits between the material plane and the plane of water. It's sort of like a semi-plane, if you will. Where is it pointing us? Is it still functioning? And Bart yells up, well, it cracked, but it's still pointing in a direction, so I think that's a positive. And she's like, it's what? And then she's like, hold on a moment, I'll be right back. And she disappears below deck.
Moxie looks over at her teammates and like, man, I hope we didn't fuck their ship up too much, but they want to find him just as we do, right?
Arrow,
Yeah.
you made a face.
Did I? I do that sometimes, just
You
think
really
of
don't,
things.
is the thing. You really don't usually.
I mean, they make lots of. Arrow, what's this? What's your face
you
doing?
made a face that's different from the ones you usually make.
Did I? Swamp just kind of smells. Probably just like gas bubble or something.
Because
Okay.
we're sort of near the plane of water, which is like the one place you didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Well, we're not in the plane of water, so hopefully there's not going to be, an issue there.
No, I don't think so.
Why
Let's
do you
just
want to
like
stay
if
away
it's
from there so badly?
like family drama, that sort of thing.
Right, still like vying for the throne and killing each other type thing.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, if we have the option, if it's like that way's material plane and that way's plane of water, let's just go towards the material plane, and then we're just kind of back where we started, and we can figure out things from there,
Might be
Or
possible.
hear me out. We can go to the plane of water if we have to, and you don't have to tell anybody you're there.
Yeah, I mean, it is like a whole plane. How likely is it that we'll see your family?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I mean, I'm no stranger to tumultuous family situations.
Yeah, it's
So
not even like my family really that's like the main problem. Let's just say there are some people there would be pretty angry if I came back.
well, if we end up there, we'll just hide you. You can
Okay.
wear a disguise.
Okay. I like that. Disguise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great plane. I grew up there, like lots of swimming, if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, if we have the option, skipping it would be fine with me.
We'll do our best to skip it, but if not, backup plan, disguise arrow.
Disguise. All right, cool.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm pretty good with makeup.
Does makeup work the same underwater?
Oh, I've got plenty of setting stuff, and I mean, I can't breathe underwater, so I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. We need to see where this cracked thing's pointing at us, anyways. We're just saying we'll figure it out. We always do.
We should definitely do our best to figure out how to help
Yeah,
the immediate situation. She like
That's-
gestures to the cracked mast.
Right.
that's what I was saying. I feel bad that we fucked their ship up so bad.
Well, we didn't.
Well, I know,
The
but
giant angry thing did.
these people were minding their business, and we come along, and I just feel bad. But them's the breaks. And then Moxie just kind of shrugs and walks off to find someone who's helping swing a hammer or whatever.
Yeah. Like what?
Yeah,
What
you
can
guys
we
start-
do to help?
You guys start helping Raimi as she's like trying to take assessment of what's going on. Mostly she'll ask you to like start clearing off the debris. You can see down once you're on the back of the ship that the back has sort of been like ripped off, and you can see directly into the captain's quarters from here. Yeah, but and then Argils is sort of helping fold the sail with Promise. The ship is hovering above the ground, and Quadison is taking a seat. They are taking a breather after almost getting nabbed from this thing. After a few minutes, Jenna sort of comes up and she like kind of wipes her brow and like kind of rubs her eyebrows a little bit. She says, "All right, everyone gather around. So from what I understand, the flying apparatus has been damaged. I don't know if Bartholomew is going to be able to fix it quickly, but the ship is still flying. It can still maneuver on this plane. I just don't think we're going to be plane hopping anytime soon. The new apparatus that was given to us will allow us to point in the general direction of where we're going. So we're going to have to make our way, at least for now, through this plane a little bit. We cannot adjust height, however. We're kind of hovering at this level, and that's where we're going to be. From what he said, and from my research, this is the Plain of Ooze, also known as the Swamp of Oblivion. If you've been to the Feywilds before, you know about hags. There are a lot of hags that live here. A lot of very dangerous creatures. There are leeches in the waters, and a lot of different sort of flying. Basically, everything in this plane wants to kill us. So we're going to be very careful. We're going to try to mind our own business. And just, if there's anything, I just don't accept any deals. Do you guys know about hags?
Yes, this group is well versed in hags.
I know the word.
Okay, so a hag is a dealer in souls, very generally. They are like fays where they can trick you into deals, but they are of their word. So if you find yourself in a, don't talk to them, okay? Just avoid them altogether. They are very powerful magic users. They usually run in covens. They have houses with legs that move. Very, very nasty creatures. So if you see an old looking lady or man or anything that looks scary or something that looks too beautiful, then I would just avoid it. We're going to try to make it through this plane as quietly as possible without directing any attention. And as she sort of goes through this, you hear, yoo-hoo! Y'all all right up there?
Looks overboard.
You guys are hovering about like probably 10 feet off the ground, maybe 20. You see below you the swampy area. There's sort of a little patches of land. And as you look down, there is a not quite a large creature, but it is a large fat raccoon that is sort of wearing a like brown cloak and like, you know, human sort of style clothing. He's standing on his back legs, and as you look over the edge, you see his little black hand sort of with the glove on it, you know, kind of wave. Y'all all right up there? It looks like your ship's a little messed up.
Hi, yeah, we're a little stuck.
Well, it's a bad place to get stuck in.
Are you a hag?
Oh, heavens no.
Okay, we can talk to this one.
Jenna looks over the edge. It's just like, there is a moment where you guys see on her face that she just kind of goes, oh, it's cute. And then like kind of hardens up a little bit again. No, we're fine. We don't need anything. Are you sure? Because it looks like your mast is a little broken there. I got a hut about 50 yards that way. I heard the commotion. If y'all need some tea or something. I have some friends who could help you rebuild it if you like.
What kind of tea?
Oh, well, it's sort of the herbal kind. We don't really grow much here. It might be a little earthy for your taste, but have you ever had green tea before?
Yes.
Well, it's kind of like that, except for it tastes a little bit more like mud.
I mean, it sounds local. I'd like to try it.
All right. Well, y'all come on down. I'll take you over there.
Jenna, is that thing a hag or what?
Jenna like looks at it. Never seen anything like this before. I'm not sure. I don't think hags generally take the form of creatures, but
Moxie, wants to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. You're going to. He needs to make a save.
Mm,
Are you doing surface thoughts, right?
yes.
Or I made up with them. You can do what you want.
Yeah, just Surface Thoughts.
Okay. So he doesn't need to make a save.
No, it doesn't look like it. Where the hell did it go? Let me read again. For the duration, your thoughts of certain creatures. No.
All right. Yeah, you sort of like reach out into the mind of this. Hold. Of this.
Tanuki?
Of this large raccoon creature. And you see there's God, if you could hear like banjos in someone's brain, he seems really authentic. Like he's like there's a lot of like worry about what's going on with your ship. He's like kind of notice. Bless you. You good? He notices the damage to your ship, and he's kind of like, "Oh, that's gonna take a long while to fit. They're gonna need some extra pieces for that. I doubt any ship around here is gonna carry that." So it's kind of like a long, just train of thought sort of thing.
Moxie relays, like as she's hearing it to everyone else. I'm like, I think they're fine. I don't think they're mean.
Okay. We will just be careful accepting any food or drink.
Yes. We're not all eating or drinking.
Right. So maybe you could arrow the recipe for the green tea and help make some yourself. I don't know exactly what would constitute being, accepting something from them in that case.
Ero, you could offer to help, and then you would know if they put anything weird in there.
Definitely. Yeah, I can do that and keep just like laser focus on what they're doing.
Okay. Jenna, do you want to give us like a list of things that you guys will definitely need? And while we're out, we can try to,
Right. Gather
like for
the.
repairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they are
let's-
actually helpful, then we'll bring back people and supplies to get underway. And if not, I don't know what. Come back, lick our wounds, and try again.
All right. Well, you're a very capable bunch, so let's take it easy. All right. Okay. Let me. Remy, can you get me a list of what we're going to need? Argils is going to help put that list together. You're able to get it. Not there's quite a few like boards and stuff, sort of sealant if they have it. It's kind of a wish list more so. Like
Wish list is fine.
Yeah. So you're able to get that for sure.
I'm gonna cast a spell on Arrow. Arrow, you're getting an enhanced ability, buddy. For
Okay.
Owl's Wisdom.
Oh my god. What does this do?
They just get advantage on all wisdom checks, but this is more of a narrative choice.
Okay.
But you do get advantage on wisdom checks.
I don't know what you're trying to imply.
How long does this last?
An hour.
Okay. All right.
I'm not trying to imply anything because I don't think Alhena even says that she does it.
That's fine.
Just kind of like pats them on the shoulder. Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready. And Arrow jumps over the side of the ship.
Oh boy. It's like you're like at least 30 feet up in the air.
That's fine.
You
Okay.
don't literally
got
think
the-
you're an owl. That's not how it works.
I'm a monk.
Yeah, they've got the slow fall.
Well, I
Yeah.
know that. Alhena doesn't know that.
All right. All right. So what is your
I'm just gonna superhero
it?
land. Yeah.
Okay.
And I can reduce fall damage by up to 30 points.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So you guys see, and I don't think there's any way that I could roll more than 30, but Yeah, no, you're good. You see Arrow jump off the edge, and you go, ah! And then they sort of like land very gingerly at the bottom. And you see in front of you, this large raccoon has one of his hands in his pocket and sort of like looks at you up and down. Goes, oh, you're one of those water folk, aren't you?
No, I'm in disguise. No, shit, I didn't go in disguise. Yes, I am.
That's fine. As a neighbor to me is all I care about. The rest of you coming down?
Yep, we're just figuring out how the rest of us get down there. We can't all do what they did.
Jenna, or I guess probably one of the people, Argylls, is gonna throw over a ladder off the side, and you guys can climb down. It's probably like a little bit short, so you'll have to like kind of hop at the bottom. And as you guys land, you do sink a little bit. The ground is very wet, so your feet kind of sink in, and your shoes get a little soaked if they're able to get soaked.
Colchis would offer to help carry Alhana, not knowing how centaurs navigate ladders.
They don't.
Yeah, you're able to carry. Maybe like firemen carry Alhana, like holding off the back. Got your arms. It happens. I'm not gonna think about it too much.
She doesn't seem overly concerned.
All right.
Thank you.
Tal will probably go down last, and ask Argylls, like, as she's leaving, like, is there anything not on the wish list that I should look for, like, specifically?
Not that I can think of. No.
Okay. Well,
Just be safe, okay?
trouble tends to follow us, as you guys have seen already, so I guess we'll do our best.
You are a very capable bunch.
And she'll hop down the ladder.
Okay. You guys land and see this very large fat raccoon standing in front of you. Kind of looks over all y'all and goes, well, very nice of you to join me. My name is Brier. That's Brier. If any of you are interested, I know the accent can be kind of confusing sometimes. I would just recommend staying close. There are some weird creatures here. Y'all have watertight shoes on?
Nope.
Talons are, I'm sure, just ranger things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need shoes.
I don't wear shoes.
Yep.
I'll be
Well,
fine.
We'll check you for leeches when we get back there, alright? So, just follow me, stay close, don't wander off. If you see any lights, don't follow them. Would highly recommend.
Well, thank you, Brier. You're great.
Well, very kind of you to say, miss. And he starts walking, sort of gingerly. He pulls out a staff from his, sort of like in his cloak, and it seems odd that it was there to begin with. He starts walking into the forest a little bit, and he says, so what brings y'all into the plane of ooze? Seems like maybe you came here on accident?
Crash landing.
No. Running towards something or away from something?
Toward.
Well, I hope that I can get you on your way very quickly. Y'all aren't gonna try and kill me, are you?
No,
Only if you don't try to kill us.
yeah, it's really nice of you to help some strangers just for no reason. We appreciate it, but I'm just curious why you're being so nice to us.
Well, we don't get many out-of-planers in here, and it is, a very dangerous place, so I just want to make sure y'all get out without any incidents.
Well, that's very nice of you. I mean, I don't know how we can repay you. I can at least entertain you once we get back to your place.
Well, that would be lovely. Are you a singer?
I can sing. I like to play instruments if you'd like some different music.
Well, that's lovely. I love to hear stories of other planes from those who do find their way here. Most are thrill seekers traveling, trying to find some special items that have been thrown into the swamp. As you might not know, the Swamp of Oblivion is known for housing some very powerful magic items as a way of getting rid of them.
Mhm.
Y'all aren't
Did
trying
not
to
know
find anything in the swamp, right?
Didn't plan on it.
Nope, doesn't seem like the risk is going to be worth it since we don't have anything in particular in mind.
So people
Yeah.
just come and like find magic items in the swamp.
Well, they try for sure. I
That's
reckon
really weird.
it's a sort of a balance between risk and reward, if you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
Hmm. So where y'all from?
Mostly the material plane.
I'm from
I-
Ravnica.
Lovely.
You ever been to
And-
either of those places?
No, I haven't really found my way out of this plane. I call it home and I like to stay here. Got
Alright,
a lot
fair
of
enough.
friends in the area, you know.
What do you guys do for fun?
Well, we go frog fishing, normal fishing, go leech popping,
Wow.
do a lot of tree climbing, building.
That sounds really fun. You know, I run
Well-
a circus and I feel like we could come entertain you one of these times. Moxie's getting real into the going to different planes idea now.
Yeah. What is a circus?
Oh, we have all different kinds of beings that can do all different kinds of tricks that people come to watch just to be amazed and entertained.
Or an entertainment. I see. We don't get a lot of that out here. It's mostly, surviving and making sure that you don't get tricked in some sort of deal by some watery hag who's trying to, like, get you to do something or eat your soul.
Fair? Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun.
No. No, I haven't lost my soul yet, but I know my grandpappy, he did have a time with one of the hags. Her name was Beatrice. She sucked his soul right out his foot. It was the weirdest experience I've ever been a part of. Pappy was never the same after that.
His
Did he
foot.
get it back?
Oh, of course not. We're not the adventuring type. We can't kill a hag out here, you know. We just keep to ourselves. But you'll meet Pappy. He likes to keep to himself, but I'm sure he'll come out after it's dark. Well, you guys walk on. You gotta like get to a more open area. There's a stone path that has built up, and there's a sort of dilapidated, almost like at an angle hut that has been built in this opening. There's a lot of like plants in the area. It looks to be like herbs and sort of homegrown garden. There's a tree that's sort of like there's a branch that looms over, and the leaves have sort of like taken up on top of this thing, of the roof of this. There's a little bit of a space in the roof where there's an opening that one could get on this tree branch from inside the house. It does look like it's had a time, but it looks pretty solid. Like, it's not pretty, but it's definitely maintained, I guess. There's quite a few animals in the area, like kind of things that you would picture in like the woods, but they look just a little bit different. Like there's sort of squirrels that have a very bright red to them, as opposed to like the ginger that you've seen on the material plane. You see a few birds that are like, again, a little dilapidated in their looks. They look like like they've suffered, I guess is the best way to put it. Their feathers are a little brittle, and they're like kind of hunched over looking at you as you approach. And then you see as he walks up the way, there is a sort of a large mastiff looking dog that starts barreling down the walkway, and you guys kind of clock that this thing instead of having, brown or black eyes, it has like red sort of like pupils that is like black outline, and then just like a red light coming out of its eyes. It's sort of foaming at the mouth like Juro does, and he starts barking at you as you approach, and Rear, all is fine. They are fine. Go on inside. They're fine. They're with us. Is a good boy. who's a good boy? And you see his like little raccoon hands like rub the jowls of this thing, and it's just dripping everywhere. And the dog kind of like sniffs at you guys and moves back inside, and Rear wipes his hands on his cloak. Oh, don't mind him. That's just Chewy.
Moxie, before Chewy goes inside, wants to cast thaumaturgy, and she can make her eyes glow red.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of gets down low, makes her eyes glow red, and like, come here, puppy, come here.
You see,
Let's see if it'll pet me. Or let me pet it.
Chewy kind of like sniffs at you. Make an animal handling check at advantage for me.
Not my strong suit. Cool. A 7 and a 4. Cool.
He sort of sniffs at you, and like he looks at his owner and kind of like sneezes in your direction, which in dog language means that they're like, "Hey, I'm not really fighting you. I'm just playing." But he does not allow you to pet him just yet.
I'm like, oh, that's better than I could have hoped for. So no big deal.
Talon just like casually reaches her hand out for him to sniff if he so chooses.
Mm-hmm. You want to make an animal handling check at advantage? Sure. Since the owner has said you are a friend.
16 and 16.
Okay. Yeah, he's like sniffs at your hand and sort of like looks up at Root, and then like looks back to you, like makes eye contact and keeps it for a second, and then uses his tongue, which is kind of sticking out just a little bit, sort of like it's the laziest lick, but he does lick your hand, and then turns around and goes back inside, and you're like, oh, and then you realize that your hand is covered in this like black goop that is a lot thicker than normal dog drool, and it will take a second for you to try to get it off your hand. Oh,
She will get it off.
Guess I'm glad he didn't like me that much.
He is a snuggle bug once you get to know him, don't worry. But he is a good protector dog, I'll tell you what. So,
seems like it.
Are y'all hungry? Do you need any food?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, like I can help you cook and.
Nah, of course. Oh, please, no. We'll go inside.
No, really, like
take
I'm
a
a
seat.
professional cook. Like I'd like to learn how you cook here and what you make.
Well, it's not going to be anything fancy now.
Well, maybe I can teach you a couple of things then.
Well, that might be. That might be.
What's your local favorite comfort food?
Well, and he kind of like opens the door to his abode. It's a big, just one room. There's that hole in the ceiling. There's a sort of a kitchen area that has a bunch of herbs and like, God, I don't even know what grows in a swamp. But there's a lot of like, there's some like meat there that has been dried. There's a single chair and then sort of like a bench area. The chair is quite large to fit his large bottom. He is very pear-shaped.
Got that cake.
He do have that cake. It's not well defined, but it is there. Yeah, well, there aren't many comforts on this plane, but I do enjoy a cup of tea from time to time. When you have the choice of maybe boiling water, I do have some, I guess what you would call local, maybe honey would be a good word for it. A sweet sort of substance that you can put in your tea.
Does it do you have bees here?
No, we do not.
Okay.
I would just not, from what I've experienced with outsiders, just not asking where it comes from is probably for the best.
Like I've eaten all sorts of things. I'm not like squeamish about it or anything.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what a slurm slug is?
I'm assuming not.
Best not ask. Why don't y'all take a seat and I'll start heating up some water.
Well, that happens. Moxie's playing her violin, but like really quietly, just for some music.
Talon is gonna kind of start steering the direction of the conversation towards how to help get their ship back in order. And I know you said you were just gonna help to try to be neighborly, but since you said you like tea, we have a plethora of different kinds, and we can leave you, if you've got some empty tins, I can leave you with a couple different kinds of tea, just as like a thank you for being willing to help us get our ship back in order.
Oh, that is mighty kind of you. You don't need to give me anything for it, but if you're willing to part with, I do have some jars here. And you see him, like, as he starts lighting the fire, he puts a water pot on it. He pulls up. There's a lot of glass jars. Most of them are full of, like, sort of a brown, starting at brown and then moving to a black liquid. But there are a couple empty jars, and he kind of grabs a couple, puts a cork in the top of them, and then hands them back to you.
She'll start like filling the jars with like some of her like tea out of her bag, and just trying to like, steer it towards like, okay, we do need to like, I get that we're being hospitable, but like I'm gonna start the transaction portion of this so that maybe eventually we can get underway.
All right, now what sort of items are you, I assume you need some wood, which will be easy enough to come by, but was anything else destroyed that you will need? Maybe
start reading things off the little wish list.
Oh, well, we do have a great adhesive here, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to get. I might need a little assistance with that.
We're good at assisting.
Yeah, we'll help you with that.
All right. Well, if you're okay with that, it might be a little difficult is a good word for it. Maybe uncomfortable is a good word for it as well.
We're used to that too.
Oh, it seems like y'all have had a hard time recently.
It's our line of work, Yeah, that's all.
But mostly uncomfortable is how I would describe the last few months of our lives.
Well, if you're not enjoying yourselves, why are you on this trip that you are on? Do you have a need of money?
We just keep running into trouble. You know,
right.
How when you go out to do something and like, for some people, every step of the way, it's just nice and easy, and they never run into trouble. They never accidentally break something while they're cooking, that kind of stuff. We're the opposite of those people. We just, every time we go to do something inevitably goes wrong,
Yeah, when you go to grab herbs and a dole list comes and attacks you and you have to fend it off with a stick. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You finally catch a fish, your line breaks, like that kind of stuff.
Well, I apologize. Have you upset any of the gods that Bashaba? Are you on Bashaba's bad side?
No.
I think it's actually the opposite of having upset some gods.
Well, that's good. We have dabblings over here. We have one that does reside here. That's one that again, not a pleasant experience. Well, that can be kind from time to time, but for the most part, we tend to keep to ourselves, those of us who are,
What god resides here?
God, hold on, I have to look.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, hold on.
Nothing pertinent.
No, it's all right.
While you're doing that,
I said that and I was like, oh god, I don't remember. Osis, of course. The god of oozes.
Ooziosis.
God of swamps.
Moxie digs in her pack and pulls out a candle like, hey, I've got an extra candle if you'd like that too for helping us out.
Well, that's again, you do not need to give me anything. I'm just happy to help those who have found their way in this swamp.
Hey, we can go buy more stuff pretty easily. It's probably a lot easier for us than it is for you, so we don't mind at all.
Well, that is true, and very kind of you. I will take the candle. You said if y'all are looking to get on your way, I won't cook you anything, but I do have some bread. If you are a little peckish, maybe a cracker.
I mean, I wouldn't mind trying a cracker. I feel like Arrow would be all over that too.
All right. You see him sort of reach into a box that has a lid on it. He takes it out. The water is boiling, and he pours out into. He doesn't ask. Everyone gets tea, because that's the hospitality way. And he sort of places a jar of what looks like honey next to the cups on sort of the center table here. And he places out what looks to be like a cheese that has been crisped and has like just a couple grades of salt on it, like a fried cheese thing.
Moxie takes a little bit of everything, enough to be polite, but she's very skeptical and used to fancier foods.
Arrow tries everything.
It's good. It's plain. There's not a lot. If you add the honey to the tea, it is quite sweet, like a concentrated honey sort of situation. But everything seems fine. Does everyone drink the tea?
Callan does not.
Moxie takes a couple sips of it, giving like pleasantries and like, "Oh, this is great, thank you," along the way.
Talon's just making it. She's busy like finding a way to like label the jars. So her tea will look. It will. She's purposefully not drinking it, but she's making it look like she's just still busy filling three jars with three different types of tea, and then telling him about them, keeping him engaged in the conversation. And, like trying to, does he care what kind of teas? Because I did figure that out.
I mean, you can tell him. He's just,
I'm just like writing things for fun now and coming up with teas. But
and
now I'm buying tea. No.
Please tell me. Please tell
me. She's gonna give him a cinnamon spiced plum herbal tea.
Okay.
A blood orange, because I bet he doesn't get much citrus here for like fruity things.
Yeah.
And then just like a nice strong, like English breakfast style, like black tea for a kick in the morning.
Yeah. All right. Alhena and Kalkus, do you take the tea?
Kalkus sips at some of it, yeah.
Alhena pretends to.
Okay.
Just looking at my big ol' immune to disease thing for being a paladin and hoping that's enough.
Yeah, no, everything seems fine. You guys partake in the food and tea as much as you like. He starts to, he doesn't really sit down at all. He's kind of making himself busy. And after a little while, I think, Arrow, you're the only one who drinks all of the tea.
Oh, yeah.
He sees that y'all are sipping or like taking your time, and so he's kind of just, right, would you like to go gather the wood? I think that'll probably be the easiest for us to get. We can take that back to the ship and then go get the adhesive.
Sounds good. Let's get after it.
All right. You seem like a strong fella. Motions to Kalkus. I do have I have some wood behind the house, but I think you're gonna need something a bit longer. We could take down one of the trees sort of on the way back, if you don't mind breaking it down a bit.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we would be bad guests if we robbed you of your stock. So, certainly appreciate help in procuring more wood. But I think we were, ready and prepared to have to go knock down some trees ourselves.
Of course. Give me just a moment. I'll go grab some of the stuff that I have ready that would fit what you're looking what you're looking for. I'll be right back. And you see him sort of like nonchalantly like climb the wall up to the ceiling, and he sort of like grabs onto the ceiling, and then you see him grab the branch that's in his building, and then he disappears through the hole in the roof.
Seems very nice. I'm glad that we got kind of lucked out just finding someone super nice to help us out in the swamp.
That's very unlike us to get lucky.
Feel very rude saying so, but I don't trust it.
The odds do seem somewhat astronomical, but so far we have not had much reason to mistrust beyond the blanket warning Jenna gave us.
Yeah, I read the surface thoughts and they seemed okay. I guess I could go deeper if you guys want me to.
I think we just need to be careful that he doesn't want anything in return for his help.
Maybe we should clarify that before.
That's why I already left
Yeah, we
my
kinda did.
transaction.
We asked him what he wanted. He didn't really say anything.
I
We asked
offered
why
T
and-
for assistance. Transaction complete.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean,
That
I don't
works.
see the harm in helping him out if like there's something that he needs, if it's gonna help him.
That's true. This is going pretty quick. So when he gets back, we can ask him if he needed something we can help with real quick before we go.
Oh. Yeah, you guys wait a little bit longer. Is there anything else you want to get up to while he's not in his hut?
Talon, what do you think is in those jars?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out, and I'm definitely not going to open one to find out, but I could always ask. As I'm putting the tea back from where he got the jars, I could just ask what it is.
Sure.
Okay. Because we probably can't tell in a nondescript jar what this liquid is.
You could guess, but you can roll like a nature check and try to see, but
Yeah, sure.
sure.
Or anything
That's a
like
thing I can do.
floating in it, like,
Mhm.
frog eyeballs.
Yeah,
or-
yeah, yeah.
15?
With a 15, you get close to it. Sorry, Ted is.
So
I just saw him. He said
good.
squinty, buddy,
The squintiest boy.
buddy. Yeah, you kind of look at this, and as you see the progression, there's nothing real. There's particles floating in it, but it's not like there's like a human hand or something in there. It seems to be something
The hand of Vecna is just in his
yeah.
Did
You
say
s-
powerful magic items in the swamp.
Canonically, this is where people go to throw away magic items they want lost forever. So, thank you, Jordan with a PH, for teaching me that. You see, it seems maybe like something is fermenting, some sort of, a jarred, like, that people pickle things. It could be moonshine. It's hard to say, but it looks, harmless.
It doesn't
enough.
look sinister.
Well, I mean, it does get like very dark over like the progression of things, but it doesn't look like it is like a pickled body part or something like that.
It's not like pickled elves' ears or something that we should be very
Nah.
alarmed about. All right.
Nah, there's no
We're good
teeth
then.
floating in it or anything.
Perfect.
You guys kind of hear an impact on the roof and then see you see Rear kind of like flip down so that he's holding on, and you see him like stretching, and then he kind of lets go, and his tootsies hit the ground a little bit, and the sort of impact of him as he hits the ground, he is carrying a load of wooden planks that he has. I keep them in the tree so that they don't get wet. All right, well, if y'all are done, we can head out. All right.
Yeah, we're ready.
Well, let's go cut down a tree. I think I can find one that isn't 100 to 200 feet tall for you.
I mean, we could probably make do with one. That would be a lot of spare lumber for any future damages.
You see him, he's like kind of like hits you on the side. It's a little bit stronger than you expected for his like nonchalantness, but he's like, I like the cut of your jib. You are very funny, sir. All right, well, let us go. Unless there's anything else you need from me here, we'll head back this way. We're gonna cut down. I suggest we cut down the tree, take it back to your ship, and then go find our adhesive if that works for all y'all.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I'm gonna cast a spell before we leave.
Okie dokie.
I'm gonna cast right as we're leaving. I'm gonna cast Water Walk on everybody,
Okay.
so we don't have to get submerged and goop that might have leeches in it.
Hell yeah. How long does that last?
An hour.
Okay, perfect. All right, you guys. Do you tell your friends you're doing this, or do they just start God walk or Jesus walking and not know what's going on?
Oh no, I'll warn them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that Breer is gonna if you offer it to him, he's gonna put a hand up and just, no, thank you. But you guys, start making your way out of the hut back towards the ship. Kalkus, he hands off the boards to you, and you're gonna go cut down a tree. But I think that's a good place for us to stop for the night, so we don't go over, because we tend to do that in this game. Thank you guys so much for playing with me tonight and playing with my dear friend, who I came up with. I don't remember where I came up with the idea for this character, but I just remember writing in my notes a really fat raccoon in the Plane of Ooze. So
And here we are, not trusting him even a little
here
bit.
we are.
I trust him implicitly. Like, this is my new best friend.
I mean, I did take notes about who drank the tea, so think about that what you will. Let's go around to have everybody tell where people can find you, what you do on the internet, starting of course with Savvy.
Hello, I'm Savvy. You can find me at Savvy Seaworth, mostly on Twitter, where my streaming schedule is pinned to the top of my page. When I'm not here, I am on twitch.tv/game nights, either playing in or running TTRPGs.
And I'm Val. You can find me at the Grind's Crown, Twitter and Twitch. I'm also on GGK Thursdays through Mondays playing running games. Run a game on Saturdays called Parslings, Parslings, called Ward 47. The system we play is Parslings. It's a deck building game, ink, parasites, magic, that sort of stuff. It's a lot of fun. So come hang out with us on Saturdays.
Hey, I'm Tanya. You can find me at Tanya Roland, or look up the Abominable Pugs on Instagram, where you can see this little monster. If you're in Michigan, I'll be at the Comedy Project tomorrow night, September 19th. Doing improv there, second week of November. I think I'll have 2 performances at the Kalamazoo Improv Fest. I'll have more details about that coming up. And that's all I got. Good night.
Hey, it's my turn. Hi, I'm Rachel Elizabeth. You can find me on Twitch at Rachel Elizabeth, or on Instagram and Twitter at Rachel Elizabeth with a Z in the middle instead of an S. I play D&D 3 times a week here on Sundays. I'm on game nights on Mondays, and on Thursdays I am on Nerd Immersion's YouTube channel. Playing 3 very different characters on all of those nights with faces that you see here on all of those nights, just different. You get it. You get what I'm saying. And yeah, that's me. Okay, bye.
And then I'm Alex, some guy on the internet, mostly on GGK. Next time we'll be live, like I said at the beginning, we'll be back on Tuesday with our Masks game. LB is one of my players in that. They blew up a warehouse that they found out belonged to the universe's Lex Luthor. And well, the players know that, the characters don't know that yet. So that's going to be fun, because also the warehouse was being used by one of the characters' evil sorceress mom. So just a whole lot of nonsense going on that we are going to have to get back into. And it's almost homecoming, because the 18 drama. That's it for me.
And I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on the Twitters and the Twitches. This channel is live usually on Tuesdays. I've been slacking recently. But usually Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and of course Sundays, where you can find our D&D game. I am live next tomorrow on Indoor Adventures channel. And then I'll be on the GGK game. On Thursday, I'll be on Nerd Immersion's YouTube channel, bringing back Siren, which I'm so excited to play, and I'm so excited for Rachel to get in the mix of our crazy antics, because we do just kind of roll off each other. But yeah, if you enjoy this content, you can check out our YouTube channel, check out all of our VODs. There's probably plenty of clips for you to watch of our silly antics on this channel. But I guess until next time, I'm LB Hack 'em Up. Hack recklessly. Bye!